Good morning, everybody. It is June 23rd, 2023, Friday. That's so funny because I'm wearing Kevin's shirt. Kevin's favorite shirt. Well, it's not his shirt. I bought it for me. Okay, so it is 12:59 in the morning. Okay, so I drew this book in the last video. Lysa Terkhurst and the Proverbs 31 ministry team. 40 days through the Bible. Since I had the dream about the number 31, I bought this book. So, okay. So this is the introduction. This is part 1 of the introduction. Longings. Have you ever wanted something so badly your heart ached with each thought of it? When we're in this place, it seems like life would be so much more complete if we just had that one thing. We even begin to believe that one thing will bring us more happiness, more contentment, more fulfillment, more satisfaction, more peace. And eventually we can start living for one day instead of today. Honestly, that would have been an understandable perspective for the people of God who waited thousands of years for the prophecy of the Messiah to be fulfilled. As we work through the Bible together for the next 40 days, it will be easy for us to read this as a history book. But we must not forget the angst that the people of God would have felt. At times, it would have been excruciating waiting for these prophecies to be fulfilled. They waited, and waited some more, and waited even longer. They knew what it felt like to ache with longing for something that had not yet come to pass. Okay, and it says, 1. To prepare your heart for this study, identify some longings you have. These could be longings for your circumstances to change or even for a relationship to change. List whatever you have been hoping and praying for. Longings are complicated feelings. They are desires within an intensity and drive behind them. They consume our thoughts, make us frustrated with others, and even make us question God. It's not that all longings are bad, but as we will see in our study, if we become so convinced that the only way for us to feel better is to get what we long for, our longings can become misdirected. We can end up seeking things outside of God's best for us that have the false promise of fulfillment and satisfaction, but only bring more confusion, deeper bondage, and entrapment. 2. How can unhealthy motives driving your longings cause problems? That's the question. Okay, then you can write your answer down. Okay, and then it says, our longings produce an ache within us, and the enemy loves to use this to tempt us to turn away from God and ultimately turn inward to satisfy our longings. Turning inward tempts us to look to things like food, relationships, money, and success for our satisfaction. But these things, void of God, will leave us restless. James wrote, but each person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desire. Then desire, when it has conceived, gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is fully grown, brings forth death. James chapter 1, verses 14 and 15. ESV version. Scholar, pastor, theologian, and church father St. Augustine said, "Our hearts are restless until they rest in you." There is a spiritual and physical reality to our longing, and we see it play out in the human heart. Physically, our bodies long for food and water. It doesn't take long for us to be desperate for both. And spiritually, we have the same longings. Only for many of us, we live chronically dehydrated, looking to sources for satisfaction that were never meant to satisfy. Read Amos chapter 8, 11 through 13 below. The days are coming, declares the sovereign Lord, when I will send a famine to the land, not a famine of food or a thirst for water, but a famine of hearing the words of the Lord. People will stagger from sea to sea and wander from north to east, searching for the word of the Lord, but they will not find it. In that day, the lovely young women and strong young men will faint because of thirst. Okay, so that is all for part 1 of the introduction, Longings, to the Proverbs 31 ministry team, 40 days through the Bible. Okay, if you like this content, like this video, or comment below. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching.